Hello there and welcome to the Freelance Thrive Podcast 6th season summary. My name is Yuri, I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and today I'll share with you 10 things you can learn from 10 podcast guests in less than 10 minutes. So let's go. A freelancer's journey is not linear, but there are still some phases, and here is how Sarah Duran explains them.
Freelancers go through a few different phases of business development. The first one is that we all start off with what I call a Jill of all trades. And so you have a skill set, you're basically doing within that skill set anything for anyone. Then you sort of go through a phase of you start to grow, you start to get more clients organically. From there, you have to be able to getting a lot more clear about who you are best positioned to serve, all the lessons that we learned from that first phase. And then from there, you get to what I call a micro business. I know exactly who I serve. I know exactly what I do for them. I know exactly how I solve their problems. And I feel really solid about my pipeline.
However, no matter what phase you're in, you still have to understand the one crucial thing that Cihan Kelechi emphasizes.
Freelancers need to understand that they are building a business for themselves. Most people feel like they are good at something. For example, they are good at coding, and they often lack the vision of how do I do my sales? How do I manage my projects? All the legal aspects of the business. So I do think that a good freelancer not only knows his trade, but has at least a good overview of all the other business parts of his endeavor, and having a good overview about the skill sets that you actually need to succeed as a company owner or a businessman. This is one of the main parts of being a good freelancer.
Also, while you evolve as a freelancer, your sales process will be evolving too. And here is what Jesse Marcelier's sales approach evolution looks like.
I started where most people start, which is this idea that sales is about convincing somebody to do something. And that's a really uncomfortable way to think about sales. The next evolution in my understanding of sales is that sales is about solving problems. And this was a more comfortable place. And then I've actually shifted to a different understanding of sales. Sales happens when you truly believe that your product or your service can drive a certain outcome for somebody. And if you truly believe that, they're going to feel from you that you believe it, that you're an honest person. And if they need your solution, they're going to take on that feeling of belief.
By the way, when you book a client through a booking system, here's one trick from Daisy Hilbrands for you to do.
A lot of people have a booking system. So it's very easy to book with you, and people will get the email invite and things like that. I do always send them a personal email afterward and say, hey, I can see you booked with me. I'm looking forward to our conversation. Is there anything you would like me to prepare for? So just this one of a small following up email as soon as you see a booking, to also let them know that you have seen your booking.
When you are selling your services to clients, there is a very important thing to keep in mind that GK Peter shares with you.
People buy from people they like. Ultimately, if you're a professional worth their salt, then you shouldn't be competing on price. You should be charging your worth plus tax. But even if it comes to price competition, you'll find that a client will buy from you because they like you, because they find you relatable, because for some reason they resonated with you. And to become likable, they need to trust you. To trust you, they need to see you enough times in their feed and have enough conversations so that they feel that they can give you money for your services.
And to make people see you, you don't really have to be a thought leader. Here's one small thing from Steve Folland that you can start doing right away.
Sometimes freelancers think, oh, I don't have time to do social media because they think they have to be creating content. But actually, there's so much value in just commenting and supporting other people who are posting.
Still, to properly sell, you need to have clients. And to have clients, you have to find them. But you don't really have to follow everyone else's path. And here's what Thomas Marbella has for you.
I have a mediocre website, but that's fine. It's not that important. For me, LinkedIn worked pretty well because I don't have to do cold calling, and I hate it. I don't have to email thousands of people because I hate it. You really have to find your mode, how you actually get on projects. And I think it's not even about a sales game or branding, because there are like 100 different topics out there. You could start with your website, your branding, your LinkedIn, cold calling, emails, ads, whatever. And it's very important to actually find a focus. What channel you want to use and how do you want to use it?
For example, if you like talking to people, maybe it's time for you to start a podcast. Aren't sure? Listen to how Yannick Kron benefit from hosting a podcast.
Having a podcast expands your network extremely. I learned so much from the experience of other freelancers. I had so many great advice, I couldn't count it. And another thing is having good conversations, being a good listener. Hadn't I done this podcast, I would not be on this level of having conversations that I'm today. And I'm really, really grateful for it because it influences my private relationships, not just the business context as well. And that's a really good benefit to have.
After you build your network, here's how Eric Bolikovsky proposes you keep it alive.
What I do just to keep in touch with people, I like to add people to my contacts list and then just naturally follow up with them once in a while and ask, hey, how are you doing? And do you want to grab a beer, or do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to have a virtual coffee chat? And I'm thinking that that kind of regularity is an important trick for keeping those connections alive.
But when you build your network, contact people and sell your services, you might feel a little nervous. And it's totally okay. So here is how Leon Vilas deals with it.
For me, being confident means embracing uncertainty as a learning opportunity. It also means speaking my mind while giving space to be curious about other ideas. Nervousness and excitement have very similar physical cues, as in our stomach, we feel the tension and so on. And for me, it's about being able to reframe nervousness into excitement. So when I go into the unknown with a feeling of excitement, for me, it means, okay, I'm confident.
And just like that, these were 10 things you can learn from 10 freelancers in less than 10 minutes. And what have you learned? Share it in the comments here or on LinkedIn or whenever, and let's connect. If you learned something new, share this episode with your friend. That's it. I'm done. See you in the next episode.